Welcome to Garden Style Living, the place where small outdoor spaces are transformed into calm, immersive escapes. In today's video, we reveal how to turn a tiny backyard into a lush tropical resort-style oasis designed for 2026 living. This is about layered greenery, natural textures, soft luxury, and creating a private sanctuary that feels deeply relaxing every single day. Each idea focuses on warmth, privacy, and authentic tropical atmosphere. If you love gardens that feel peaceful, natural, and thoughtfully designed, subscribe to Garden Style Living and start reimagining your backyard today. One, creating a tropical first impression. Enter the garden like a resort arrival. A tropical resort atmosphere begins the moment you step into the backyard. In 2026, tiny gardens are designed with an intentional arrival experience that instantly separates daily life from relaxation. Narrow pathways framed by dense tropical plants create anticipation and immersion. Large leaf greenery, layered heights, and filtered light guide the eye forward. This transition makes a small space feel expansive and private. The goal is to block immediate views and slowly reveal the garden. This sense of discovery mirrors luxury resorts. When the entrance feels intentional, the entire yard gains emotional depth. Even limited space becomes immersive, calm, and lush. A strong first impression sets the tone for a private tropical retreat that feels secluded, peaceful, and carefully curated. Two, layering tropical plants for maximum lushness. Density creates the resort feeling. A tropical oasis relies on plant density rather than open lawns. In 2026, small backyards achieve resort-level lushness by layering plants vertically and horizontally. Tall palms or banana plants form the upper layer, mid-height foliage fills the visual field, and ground plants soften the base. This layered approach creates depth and privacy. In a tiny space, dense planting blurs boundaries and makes walls disappear. The garden feels enclosed by nature rather than fences. This method maximizes greenery without overcrowding. When plants overlap naturally, the yard feels alive and immersive. Layering is the foundation of turning a small backyard into a true tropical resort sanctuary. Three, using natural materials to support the tropical mood. Materials that belong in nature. A tropical resort never feels synthetic. In 2026, tiny backyard makeovers prioritize natural materials to reinforce authenticity. Wood, stone, rattan, and textured concrete blend seamlessly with plants. These materials weather beautifully and add warmth. In small gardens, limiting material choices prevents visual clutter. Natural surfaces reflect light softly and feel calming. When combined with lush greenery, they create balance and harmony. This approach ensures the garden feels grounded and timeless. Natural materials support relaxation by aligning the space with organic patterns. The result is a backyard that feels like part of a tropical landscape rather than an artificial setup. 4. Designing shade like a tropical canopy. Filtered light feels luxurious. Tropical resorts are defined by filtered light rather than harsh sun. In 2026, tiny backyards create shade using layered plants, pergolas, and natural screens. Large leaves diffuse sunlight, creating moving patterns on the ground. This shifting light adds calm and depth. In small spaces, shade also improves comfort and usability. The garden feels cooler and more inviting. Filtered light creates intimacy and softness. This approach mimics the experience of resting beneath a tropical canopy. The backyard transforms into a tranquil refuge where light and shadow work together to enhance relaxation. Five. Introducing water for tropical atmosphere. Stillness and movement combined. Water is essential in tropical resort design. In 2026, small gardens use compact water features to introduce sound and reflection. A gentle water surface adds calm without overwhelming the space. In tiny backyards, subtle water movement masks outside noise and enhances privacy. Water reflects greenery and light, increasing visual richness. Even a small feature creates emotional depth. This sensory addition turns the garden into a multi-dimensional retreat. Water connects the space to nature and slows perception. The result is a backyard that feels serene, immersive, and distinctly resort-inspired. 6. Creating privacy with tropical density. Hidden without feeling closed. Privacy is crucial for a tropical oasis. In 2026, tiny gardens achieve privacy through plant density instead of walls. Tall tropical plants and layered foliage block views naturally. This approach feels organic and breathable. In small spaces, greenery softens boundaries and enhances calm. The garden feels enclosed by nature rather than structure. Privacy becomes subtle and elegant. This technique transforms a cramped yard into a secluded retreat. When privacy feels natural, relaxation deepens. The backyard becomes a private escape, shielded from the outside world without feeling confined. 7. Designing a central tropical lounge zone. One space to fully relax. A tropical resort always has a clear relaxation zone. In 2026, tiny backyards benefit from a defined lounge area surrounded by plants. This zone becomes the emotional center of the garden. Comfortable seating, shade, and greenery create a cocoon-like experience. In small spaces, defining one strong zone prevents clutter. The garden feels organized and intentional. This lounge becomes a place for rest, reflection, and escape. When designed properly, it anchors the entire yard. The backyard transforms into a personal resort lounge that feels private and indulgent. 8. Using tropical colors with restraint. Lush without visual overload. Tropical design does not require bright chaos. In 2026, luxury tropical gardens use restrained color palettes. Greens dominate, supported by warm wood and stone tones. Accents are subtle and natural. In tiny backyards, this restraint prevents overwhelm. The garden feels cohesive and calm. Color appears through leaves, textures, and light rather than decoration. This approach enhances sophistication. The result is a lush yet balanced environment. Tropical luxury feels mature and timeless. The space invites relaxation instead of distraction. Nine. Making the garden feel larger than it is. Depth through design tricks. Tiny backyards can feel expansive when designed strategically. In 2026, tropical gardens use overlapping plants, diagonal layouts, and layered focal points to create depth. These techniques break straight lines and extend visual perspective. Dense planting blurs edges, making boundaries disappear. The garden feels endless. This illusion enhances the resort feeling. When space feels larger, relaxation improves. The yard becomes immersive and freeing. Smart spatial tricks transform limited square footage into a lush tropical escape that feels far beyond its actual size. Designing the garden for daily escape. A resort you use every day. The final principle is purpose. In 2026, tropical backyard design focuses on daily emotional escape. The garden is not occasional decoration, but a daily refuge. Every element supports calm routines. In a tiny space, this intention ensures clarity. The garden becomes part of everyday life. When design supports daily use, the space feels meaningful. This approach completes the transformation. The backyard becomes a personal tropical resort that offers peace, privacy, and restoration whenever needed. (11) Using tropical framing to create intimacy. Enclosing space with green layers. In 2026, tropical resort gardens feel intimate because they are visually framed by greenery. In a tiny backyard, framing techniques use tall plants and side plantings to create a natural enclosure. This design approach makes the space feel protected and private without building walls. Tropical leaves form soft boundaries that absorb sound and block distractions. The garden becomes inward-focused and calming. Framing also directs attention towards selected views, making the space feel intentional. In small gardens, intimacy creates comfort. The backyard transforms into a secluded tropical room shaped by plants, light, and shadow. This sense of enclosure enhances relaxation and emotional security, making the garden feel like a true private resort sanctuary. 12. Blending hardscapes seamlessly with greenery, where structure disappears into nature. A luxury tropical garden never feels divided between plants and structure. In 2026, tiny backyards blend hardscape elements directly into greenery. Stone paths disappear beneath leaves, decks are softened by planting edges, and furniture feels embedded within the garden. This seamless integration removes visual boundaries. The space feels fluid and organic. In small yards, blending prevents harsh contrasts that shrink perception. Everything feels part of one environment. This approach enhances immersion. The backyard feels less like a constructed space and more like a natural tropical clearing. Seamless design creates harmony and supports deep relaxation. 13. Designing for humidity and warm climates. Comfort comes from smart choices. In tropical-style gardens for 2026, comfort is essential. Tiny backyards designed as tropical resorts must account for warmth and humidity. Breathable furniture materials, shaded zones, and airflow-friendly layouts keep the space usable. Plants are arranged to allow gentle air movement. Light-colored surfaces reduce heat absorption. In small gardens, smart design choices prevent discomfort. The garden remains inviting even during warm days. This thoughtful approach ensures relaxation without compromise. Comfort-focused design transforms the backyard into a practical yet luxurious tropical retreat that feels welcoming rather than overwhelming. 14. Using repetition to create tropical rhythm. Consistency feels calming. Tropical resorts feel calm because of visual rhythm. In 2026, tiny gardens use repetition of plants, materials, and forms to create harmony. Repeated leaf shapes, similar planters, and consistent textures guide the eye smoothly. In small spaces, this reduces visual noise. The garden feels organized and intentional. Rhythm enhances relaxation by creating familiarity. This approach prevents chaos and supports a serene tropical mood. Repetition turns a small backyard into a cohesive private oasis where every element feels connected. 15. Introducing subtle tropical patterns. Detail without distraction. In 2026, luxury tropical gardens use patterns sparingly. Subtle patterns appear in cushions, paving, or screens. These details add interest without overpowering greenery. In tiny backyards, restraint is key. Patterns echo natural forms like leaves or waves. This connection reinforces the tropical theme. When used lightly, patterns enhance texture and depth. The garden feels refined rather than busy. Subtle detailing elevates the space emotionally. The result is a calm tropical oasis with layers of quiet sophistication. 16. Creating nighttime tropical atmosphere. Evenings should feel magical. A tropical resort truly comes alive at night. In 2026, tiny backyards use layered lighting to extend the experience after sunset. Warm lights highlight leaves, textures, and pathways. Shadows add mystery and depth. In small gardens, lighting replaces daytime openness with intimacy. The space feels cozy and immersive. Nighttime design enhances privacy and calm. When done well, the garden becomes a peaceful evening retreat. Lighting transforms the backyard into a nighttime tropical sanctuary filled with warmth and tranquility. (17) Using focal points to anchor the design. One calm centerpiece. Every resort garden has a focal point. In 2026, tiny backyards use a single strong feature to anchor the space. This could be a water element, sculptural plant, or textured wall. The focal point provides visual stability. In small gardens, one anchor prevents clutter. The eye rests easily. This design choice enhances calm and organization. The focal point becomes the emotional heart of the tropical oasis, guiding the entire layout. (18) Designing seating to feel cocooned. Comfort through enclosure. In 2026 tropical gardens, seating areas feel protected. In tiny backyards, plants surround seating to create a cocoon effect. This enclosure enhances comfort and privacy. The space feels safe and calming. In small gardens, cocoon seating creates emotional depth. The lounge becomes a retreat within a retreat. This design approach supports relaxation and escape. The backyard transforms into a deeply immersive tropical sanctuary. A tiny backyard doesn't limit your dream, it refines it. With the right tropical design approach, even the smallest space can feel lush, calming, and deeply personal. These ideas show that a private resort atmosphere comes from intention, nature, and balance, not size. Let your garden become a daily escape where you slow down and reconnect. If this video inspired you to see your outdoor space differently, subscribe to Garden Style Living for more tropical garden ideas, relaxing outdoor design inspiration, and timeless ways to bring nature closer to home.